So Ukraine just a couple days ago agreed in principle to the ceasefire that was proposed by America that they negotiated at the Saudi Arabia summit. And it looks like Putin may be agreeing to it as well. Let's talk about it. So standing next to the Belarusian president, the biggest ally for Russia in the region, he stated that in principle he agreed to what the ceasefire was proposing. However, there were conditions for his acceptance of it. He said the ceasefire must lead to lasting peace and that it must address the root cause of the conflict. He did have questions about what would happen in the Kursk region, which is a Russian region that Ukrainian troops are currently occupying, asking basically would they leave, surrender, or remain during the ceasefire. Honestly, Ukraine could ask the same about the 3 regions that Russia is occupying. Because if you didn't know, these 4 regions are the 4 regions that Russia took in this war. Crimea obviously was taken back in like 2012, so that's old news at this point. But yeah, Russia's occupying 4 regions of Ukraine while they're occupying one little slither of the Kursk region in Russia. So in a ceasefire, everyone remains where they are. It's not a truce. It's not an end to the war. It's a ceasefire. That's what ceasefires are. You just stop shooting at people. You don't start leaving the territory that you've taken. Now, one of the worries that Putin does have with the ceasefire is that it would allow Ukraine to regroup, rearm, and be ready for battle again after the 30-day ceasefire. Now, some of the conditions for a lasting peace, as they say, for Russia specifically, is they want to keep all 5 regions, Crimea and the other 4 regions that they've taken in this war, without, having full control of 2 of those regions. They want those to be internationally recognized as Russian property now, as Russian lands. They want to guarantee that Ukraine will not join NATO, and I think that's probably the easiest ask of this all because Ukraine's never joining NATO, let's be real. But this has just been a few hours after the envoy for the U.S. landed in Russia to talk about the ceasefire. So we'll see if this thing actually gets signed and we actually get to a point where peace is possible.